On a quiet morning in 1908, the biggest explosion in all of recorded human history happened, and to this day, nobody fully knows what caused it. Welcome to Age of Stories. Today we tell the story of the Tunguska Event, the greatest natural explosion ever recorded in the entire history of planet Earth. It was June 30th, 1908. The time was 7:17 in the morning. In a tiny village near the Tunguska River, the Evenki people were just starting their day. Suddenly, a bright light appeared in the sky, brighter than the sun itself. People who saw it said it was like a second sun moving fast across the sky. Evenki witnesses said the sky split open and fire poured down from above. The heat was so intense, it felt like their skin was burning from the inside. Then came the explosion, a blast so powerful that it released energy equal to 185 nuclear bombs, all going off at exactly the same moment, simultaneously. The shockwave hit the forest below like a giant invisible hand. Every single tree within 2,000 square kilometers was knocked completely flat at exactly the same second. All the trees fell pointing outward from the center, like spokes on a giant wheel, showing exactly where the explosion had come from in the sky above. People standing 60 kilometers away from the explosion were lifted off their feet and thrown through the air by the force of the invisible shockwave arriving. Windows shattered in buildings over 1,000 kilometers away from the explosion. Seismic stations across Europe recorded the shockwave. It circled the entire planet twice before fading away. For 3 nights after the explosion, the skies over Europe and Asia glowed so bright at night that people in London could read newspapers outdoors at midnight. Because the area was so remote and Russia was in political chaos at the time, nobody went to investigate the explosion site for 19 full years after it happened. Finally, in 1927, a Russian scientist named Leonid Kulik led the first expedition into the remote Tunguska forest to see what had actually happened there 19 years before. When Kulik finally arrived at the site, he stopped completely still. What he saw was unlike anything he or any scientist anywhere in the world had ever seen before. Millions of trees, all knocked down flat, pointing away from one central point. For 2,000 square kilometers in every direction, not one single tree was still standing. Kulik expected to find a massive crater at the center, like the ones left by meteorite impacts studied elsewhere in the world. But there was absolutely no crater. No crater, no meteorite fragments, no remains of any object at all. Whatever caused the biggest explosion in history had completely destroyed itself before touching the ground. The leading theory today is that it was an asteroid or comet that exploded in the atmosphere above the forest, called an airburst, before it could reach the ground. An airburst explosion is more powerful than a ground impact because the energy spreads outward horizontally across a much wider area rather than concentrating in one single spot. Scientists estimate the object was between 50 and 80 meters wide, roughly the size of a large building, moving at over 54,000 kilometers per hour when it exploded. If the same object had exploded over a major city like New York, London, or Toronto, it would have instantly destroyed everything within hundreds of kilometers around it. Some scientists have proposed other explanations, including a natural hydrogen bomb explosion, a black hole passing through Earth, or even, seriously, an alien spacecraft exploding above the forest. In 2013, another large meteor exploded over the Russian city of Chelyabinsk, injuring over 1,500 people and reminding the world that the Tunguska event could happen again anywhere. The Chelyabinsk meteor was much smaller than the Tunguska object, yet it still injured over 1,500 people just from the shockwave breaking windows across a wide area. Today, scientists actively track near-Earth objects, specifically because of what Tunguska taught us, that a space rock does not need to be enormous to cause catastrophic damage. The Tunguska forest is largely regrown over 100 years, but scientists who visit the site can still find evidence of what happened there on that June morning. Microscopic spheres of melted rock found in the soil at Tunguska match material from space, giving scientists the closest thing to physical proof they have ever found. Despite 100 years of research, dozens of expeditions, and modern scientific technology, the Tunguska event remains the most powerful and mysterious explosion in all of recorded history. The most important lesson from Tunguska is simple: space is not empty, and Earth is not safe. Something this powerful could happen again at any time, without warning. The biggest explosion in human history, still unexplained after 100 years, still waiting to happen again somewhere on Earth. Subscribe to Age of Stories for more incredible stories.